This is not.
Oh, good. We're having trouble with the cat already.
No, this is not gonna
Hey,
happen.
beer nerds,
today.
how's it going tonight?
Did you start?
Yeah, I started. We
Oh
gotta.
my God.
Yeah. So we're having a little difficulties with our cat, but welcome to Beer by the Numbers Live. We're covering beer news and industry updates for the week. This week of Labor Day coming up. Get hyped. Got a long weekend coming up.
Vacation.
Gonna be enjoying some beers, no doubt. It's gonna be a good time. So speaking of beers, what are you drinking today, Brenda?
I have made it to the pseudo dregs of the beer fridge.
The pseudo dregs of the beer fridge. All right, well, tell us what is your low quality pseudo dregs?
It's not that low quality.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm having the Cider Boys British Dry Cider.
Ooh, very nice.
It's an English style dry hard cider.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very good.
I know, not beer. I understand.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. You can do cider. Look at that.
But
That's
it's
crystal
pretty.
clear. Look at that. Mm-hmm.
And delicious.
Right.
And I
Yeah.
can pour out a whole bottle, which is strange for me. I don't have to stop before the end.
Well, you got some cidery goodness. All right. Well, while you dive into that, I have the Sticky Hands again, courtesy of Burning Beard. I think this is our last of the Burning Beard live review series. So, but I saved the hoppiest bomb for last. Is this Sticky Hands from Block 15 Brewing out of where are they out of? Corvallis, Oregon?
Yes,
that's right. It says a luscious blend of flavor and drinkability. This hop experience ale features ample addition of those sticky lupulin-packed hops grown in the Pacific Northwest. The result is an aromatic blast of citrus, tropical fruit, and dank herb that transitions into some resinous hop flavor. So, sounds really good to me.
I could almost take that seriously.
Oh yeah.
Almost. I made it to dank herb.
Okay, now
before I stopped.
Now I understand you're not an IPA person, but you buy into the marketing hype for the sour.
Oh God,
right? Yeah. See, so it just depends what you're really into. You know.
Do we not remember the sticky fruit incident?
Right.
The easy Cujo.
Ooh, look at this beer.
Yes, you too, Cujo.
Look at this beer. Oh, a lovely straw. Like it like wants to be hazy color, but look at that density on that head there.
Yeah,
that looks good. This is gonna be good. I'm practicing my foam sculpting. I'm hoping they bring that to the state fair next year. Is beer foam
instead of
art.
butter carving?
Yeah, that's right. You could do art in the beer foam and have it be a little contest. You take pictures. Yeah, it'd be great. I would totally practice that. Get some
Why
toothpicks.
is there cat climbing the inside of our window?
Oh, she does that now.
Oh, good. I'm gonna fix that while you talk about your dank herb beer.
Yeah, so definitely on the nose, getting that fruit flavor as the label described. Lots of tropical citrus notes. And you know when you get something that's really tropical and citrusy, your mouth starts watering just smelling it. Yeah, that's totally what's going on here. And then just they weren't kidding on just the bitter packed hops in here. But
I can smell that across the porch.
Yeah, you want to try it? Yeah, you want to give it a shot? Come on, Brenda. The people want to see it.
It was like want to.
Mostly me, but they want to.
Will I?
That's right.
Good Lord. Not as bad as it smells.
Okay. Yeah, there you go.
That's actually really well balanced for as hoppy as it is.
Right. Yeah, that's the sign of a good beer there.
Our cat is now an aerialist and is climbing the curtain cords. So she's gonna get a timeout in the kitchen. Okay.
Hey, Drunk One, how's it going today? Did you change your channel name spelling? Did that happen recently? Did I not notice this? This seems weird. Burning Beard, cheers! Thanks again for the great beers. Brew Q, glad you could join me tonight. Yeah, and Bearded Beer Man, welcome. So, diving into some beer. I got all sorts of good beer news tonight. So we're gonna have a good show, hopefully. So, before I get into that, while I'm waiting for Brenda to come back, I guess I'll give one story real quick. So lately I have been, oh boy, I got music playing through my speakers. Hold on. All right, there we go. So I've been really impressed with Bud Light's marketing, actually, and I don't pay a lot of compliments to a lot of the macro brands here on the channel, but they have a ton of good marketing campaigns out there lately. This spring it was all about the Dilly Dilly from the Super Bowl. That was really great. That was a lot of fun. And this fall, heading into the new football season, they have a new campaign up. You are really battling with the cat, aren't you?
Yep. I'm losing.
Yeah, so Brenda is currently trying to wrestle our cat, who is winning. But heading into this football season, Bud Light had a really brilliant idea. They took a bunch of smart internet-connected refrigerators stocked with Bud Light and put them into bars all around the Cleveland area, where they will only open if and when the Cleveland Browns win their first football game of the year. So the Browns, for those of you who aren't big American football fans, went 0-16 last year. They did not win a game.
For once in my life, I'm rooting for the Browns.
Oh, well, see, me too. I'm
purely to watch the fridge open.
Yeah, that's right. They got these internet-connected fridges that are going to open up when they win their first game. And so,
You said when. Let me
right.
correct you for a brief moment.
Yeah, you're right. So I think that's a really cool marketing campaign, personally. And, once the fridge is open, it's free beer to whoever's at the bar. So, courtesy of Bud Light. So,
yes. Can I just creep around?
Right.
And you know what? That would require me drinking a Bud Light. Never mind.
Hey, man, free beer is the best beer. That's how it works. You seem skeptical of this law. Basically, it's a law of the universe that free beer is the best beer.
I know a lot of laws of the universe, and I'm not sure.
It's like gravity. It's like gravity.
No.
Right up there with gravity. It's like free beer.
No.
Gravity.
I'll take the best beer being an open one. I will not take it being a free one. I've had bad free beer.
You've had bad free beer? Do tell. When did you get a bad free beer?
I don't remember.
Good story.
I know I must have had some, but I blocked it out.
Hey, Farmall fanatic, cheers. Beer Patrol says most Brown fans are already hammered by the time the game is over. So
over?
The Bud Light will rehydrate them.
Over?
Over.
What are they waiting for?
It's like 11 o'clock, like a noon kickoff morning game. Yeah, I don't know.
Point being?
Tony Ball also agrees with you that the Browns will never win. So, yeah, we got to. I wish them well, though, if only for Tim over at 8-Bit Chicken, because I know he is an unfortunate Browns fan. Good home brewer, but not a good team picker.
Not good quality football selection.
So, Brenda, if you could work at a brewery, what would you do?
What would I do?
What would your job be? Would you want to pour beer?
I was gonna say,
you want to be a bouncer? Do you want to brew, which is mostly cleaning?
I was gonna say, what would my job be, or what job would I like?
Just tell me what you'd like. You want to do marketing?
I mean, obviously, I want to design the breweries.
Oh, okay, yep.
What would my job actually be? Probably washing the insides of fermenters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably have the hazmat suit. And everything. Because I'm small.
Yep, very true.
And scrubby.
Yeah, and scrubby. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I'd like to pour beer, but I found probably the most interesting job ad for a brewery out there for this fall.
Taste tester?
No, not taste tester.
Quality control?
Let me find the right tab here. So one of Chicago's best breweries needs a tuba player for one of their upcoming events. So they're having a little Oktoberfest party, of course. They need a little bit of music. So I'm gonna read you this great Craigslist ad.
Wait, hang on. This could be me.
This could be you.
I used to be able to play about 4 notes.
About 4 notes. Well,
that's
that's
really
about,
all you need for Oktoberfest.
That's about all you need for tuba, yeah. So, hey there, tuba person. We see you sitting there all sad because the cool beer adjacent gigs go to your hip hoppers and your synthesizer cats. But what if we told you
synthesizer cats?
Yeah, synthesizer cats. But what if we told you that we're a brewery in need of your specific Bavarian inflected skills for a delightful project? Ooh, that's a tough sentence. Bavarian inflected skills.
How did the cat get out?
I don't know.
I give
Did
up.
you lock her in
Yes.
properly? Yeah. Bring that fat brass our way. We'll film a few short videos for social media and send you on your way with a bunch of beer. Bonus points if you can look menacing. And honestly, you don't even need to be very good at the tuba. In fact, it might be better if you aren't.
See, this is the job
Serious
for me.
tuba masters only, please.
But you don't have to be good. Therefore, this is my job.
There you go. So if you want to go to Chicago for a couple hours one weekend, they'll take you.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah, it's Oktoberfest season, everybody. And I know we got people from all over the world, but it's pretty big here in the Midwest where there's a sizable German immigrant population ended up here. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. Oh. I can't wait. All the fest beers are starting to come out. I'm getting super hyped.
They're already at least 3 in our house.
We're probably going to have to go to the bottle shop and pick up singles of like 6 of them, and that'll be one Monday night stream. We'll just do a 6 Oktoberfest review stream.
I feel
It'll
like
be great.
This requires me fixing the straps of your lederhosen.
Yeah, we could do that. Mm-hmm. I could bust out my fake lederhosen soon.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It'll be great. Let's see. I feel like Joe at the Beer Patrol tonight because I'm reading out comments because that's all he does on stream. Joe says those Brown fans are hammered by 9 a.m. and that goes for most tailgaters, which is absolutely true, which we will be doing shortly for our Minnesota Golden Gophers, who will probably not be that good, but the beer tastes good, so we'll go with that.
By the time the game starts, I don't really mind.
Mm-hmm. Robert said, how's it going to guys? I don't know. How is it going for you? Pretty good.
I'm watching the cat try to destroy our house.
I mean, look,
This is equal parts beer drinking and paranoia.
Yeah, we got a cool beer. We got kind of a nice night out here. It just got done storming.
It stopped being humid as all get out.
Yeah.
It was pea soup textured out there.
Yeah, we just got rid of all our humidity, so that was pretty sweet.
Don't worry, it'll be back.
Mm-hmm.
It's fair week. It'll be back.
Joe says he's king at reading comments poorly, so there we go. All right, let's see. So I have a question for not only you, Brenda, but everybody in the chat.
Uh-oh.
This was a great topic on the beer subreddit this past week, and that is everybody was discussing, what's your backup beer? So you walk into a bar, you're like, oh, I'm gonna go see what this new bar has, or maybe you're meeting a friend somewhere you've never been, or not like a brewery, but like a bar.
I was gonna say bar, so we're not talking like brewery specific.
No, we're talking like a general bar, and then
so something I can find anywhere.
Yeah, so like you walk in and you realize that there's nothing like super exciting. There's no super dank IPA just waiting for you on the menu. You got to figure out something else to drink. So, like, what's something that's pretty well distributed that you'd have a nice backup beer? What's something that you'd be happy having? It's not like your favorite, but what's something you'd be happy having? Let us know in the chat. But Brenda, what are you thinking here?
I'd say first bear guess, because I'm usually out in the summer.
Mm-hmm.
I'd check the cider option if there was one. If it's Angry Orchard, I'm not touching it. But
that's a little sweet.
I'd probably check.
Mm-hmm.
If it's anything other than Angry Orchard,
like
give it a try.
like a Strongbow.
I would definitely take Strongbow.
That's pretty nationally distributed too. So like a Strongbow is a good choice.
And ironically, my second backup that I would prefer in flavor, but I might not necessarily want in July, I will always go for a Guinness.
A Guinness, yeah. Guinness is a solid choice.
A Guinness.
Yeah. Yeah, unless it's a
Sounds
really
like
hot
a very
day.
pretentious backup choice.
No, unless it's a really hot day, like a Guinness is pretty good. Yeah.
Especially if it's on the extra cold tab.
I know, you keep pushing for those. I don't know if you're going to get very many of them. I'm sorry. Yeah. So, let's see around. So, like, in terms of nationally distributed stuff, there's good stuff like a Bell's Two Hearted or like a Dogfish Head. Just came to Minnesota here. They're slowly creeping across. Actually, not really slowly. They're pretty quickly moving across the country for keg distribution. So like like a 90-minute IPA is a really solid choice if there's not something really cool or local on tap. But I think like if I was picking like macro beers, I think I'm right up there. I think what I would pick most often if it's there probably has to be Modelo Especial or Modelo Negra. Negra first, but that one's not carried as much.
Right.
So
and is rarely on tap.
But like if I had my pick of macro beers, it would be Modelo.
That's solid.
Yeah, like I really like Modelo. It's a little more Vienna lager than it is like, kind of Pilsner. Also, generally, if there's like a Sierra Nevada Sculpin or any one of their Sculpins, actually is pretty solid. So if they're a little more crafty oriented, that's a good way to go too.
Yeah.
And then if I'm looking at like local backup beers, nothing like a Grain Belt Northeast, which is also kind of that Vienna-ish style lager. Although that's a little on the cheaper end though. So yeah.
Just a little.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So. But like, there were a ton of great suggestions in this thread. Let's see if I can pull it up here. Like a Yingling, that's a solid choice if you're out.
I don't know if I've ever even seen Yingling.
Not here. Sierra Nevada
don't even exist.
Pale Ale, Genesee Cream Ale if you're in kind of the northeast part of the country. Hams. Some people really like hams.
No.
New Glarus Spotted Cow.
Cow.
Yeah. Dos Equis, I don't think I've only had Dos Equis like a couple times.
I was like, I'm not sure I could find it if I tried.
Ooh, Fat Tire's a good one. That's a solid beer. Yeah. So yeah, there's all sorts of good backup beers for like when you're not really into it. So let's see what the chat said here. Let's see, like Joe went ahead and said that Genesee Cream Ale. See, there we go. Sam Adams Boston Lager, that's a good one too. That was good if you want something light, And then Guinness also, yep, agrees with you on the Guinness. Also threw in Sierra Nevada Pale Ale, which is a good beer. Yep. Burning Beer, Deschutes Mirror Pond. I wish we could get Deschutes beer on tap over here. That would be awesome.
Or regularly on tap.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
On tap, not just at the specialty places.
Yep. Drunken One says Lagunitas something, which I think I've had once, but I don't remember it that well.
I was like, you have, because I remember the bottle and being highly amused by it.
Right. Yeah. And Finn says loves Guinness too. So yeah, I think you're in a solid spot there. Look at that. Mm-hmm.
It's great. Most everybody enjoys it to some degree. It's readily available.
Right. Okay, the next story I have is one of those great examples of the bad journalism that plagues our modern age.
Good. I love bad journalism.
Well, we're the only focus, and I love calling out bad beer journalism. I do it probably every week on this stream, then I'll throw it into my videos every once in a while too.
And he does it daily in regular conversation.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. You have to deal with that.
Oh shucks. Whatever shall I do?
But like I pulled it up on the screen here for you, but like, it's one of those headlines that's just designed to drive the clicks so they can load the ads and get the sale,
Yay!
And it's just
clickbait.
like, no amount of alcohol is good for you, a global study says. So,
Okay.
Yeah, see, Brenda's over here like, I didn't know this was like a thing that needed to be restated.
And eggs are good, and eggs are bad, and butter is bad,
Well,
and margarine's good.
that's
and
just-
carbs are bad, and protein's bad, but protein's good, but plant protein's good, but fat protein's bad.
See, look, you're right there. So you've got it. You hit the nail on the head.
Yes, wine, no wine. Yes, chocolate, no chocolate.
Yep, the classic back and forth. Is wine good for your heart? Is it not? Does beer have some
Crossing
moderate
the street in front of an 18-wheeler, always bad.
Mm-hmm. Right. And so, it's one of those articles where they give you 3 paragraphs of kind of scary stuff. And then, by the time you get to paragraph 6, it's like, okay, here's what the study actually says.
Oh, good.
Because that's how news is delivered in our modern internet age. It really sucks.
I love 4 minutes of conjecture before I get to an actual point.
No, that's how internet news works.
That's not how news works.
No,
that's not news.
That's how internet news works. It drives more clicks. So
that's not news.
Basically, they're like, so if you drink a lot, you're probably going to have some health problems. And even if you drink a little, you're at a higher disease risk than those who don't. Well, now,
okay.
Now, I guess, let's be honest. We are all consuming a minor amount of a minor poison.
We're also breathing a minor amount of a minor poison.
So the one quote that really drives home that this is total fabricated journalism. I will read you word from word from this article right now. Are you ready? They quoted a professor of public understanding. What is even that? What is a professor of public? These professor titles are getting out of control.
Is that like a social scientist?
Basically, it's a public policy professor,
okay.
But we have to be understanding now. Anyway, so they quoted this guy from Cambridge. It was a UK study. And the public policy professor said, well, there's no safe level of driving, but governments do not recommend that people avoid driving. Come to think of it, there's no safe level of living, but nobody would recommend abstention. So he just hits the nail on the head.
Thank you.
In that very dry British way of just we take inherently risky behaviors all the time because that's what humans do. That's what we do.
That's how life works.
That's right. That's how life works. And
me dealing with the cat is riskier than me drinking this beer. I promise you.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. So you could say, almost any action you take probably has a likelihood of it leading to disease. So, it was a really funny kind of way. And I was so surprised that literal comment was actually buried in the article itself. Because normally that's a funny tweet afterward.
You know the leading cause of death?
What's that?
Birth.
Yeah, that's right. Everyone who is born dies. That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, kids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is how it works.
Yeah, drunk one hits it on the head, and chat moderation is the hard part. Absolutely. Yeah. That is how it works. Mm-hmm. Joe says, if you do eat 10 Big Macs or drink a case of beer, it's not going to be good for you or your body. And I think most people can kind of intuitively understand that. There seem to be some pretty readily available consequences. Now, that's not to say alcoholism isn't a thing or, there's not deep impacts there. But I think
that's a long way from one beer will kill you.
Yeah, right. That's a lot. Yeah, you're right. That's exactly. It's a long way from there is no safe level of alcohol consumption.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Birding Beard asks, what? I'm gonna die? Oh no, we got
spoilers.
Welcome to Nihilism Hour, everybody, where we talk about how everything he does doesn't matter. So drink more.
Cheers. Clearly, my beer is too light.
Yeah, I see that. You're plugging away over there.
It's just clean and
you need some hops in your life.
It tastes vaguely of apples, and it's really just refreshing.
Mm-hmm. Drunken One's on a bit of a diet right now. Says the beer is the hard part. Giving up the beer.
Just don't do it.
Well, see what I just end up doing is just going out for a lot of walks when I need to drink a lot of beer. Put on the miles to take off the pounds.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
That's why State Fair is lovely. You can try all the new beers, and you're too busy sweating your cojones off to gain any weight from the new beers you're trying.
Right. You know, Joe makes a good point. Some people just don't quite make the connections in their head with alcohol and danger. So, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Danger. Yeah.
All right, so that was that weird study. Like I said,
that just makes me grumpy.
Love calling out bad beer journalism. one of my favorite things to do as a beer nerd.
I'm glad you enjoy it because it just makes me grumpy pants.
Okay, so I have a question for you.
I have an answer.
Would you be more likely to go to church if they had beer during the service?
Well, they already have wine during the service.
Well, I know, but so a California pastor is planning on opening a new religious space with a brewery in there as well, where parishioners could come in and order a pint and say a few prayers, you know? The Greater Purpose Community Church in Santa Cruz began having services.
Your Greater Purpose is beer?
Well, no, they began.
I mean, I agree, but
they began having their services at a bar and lounge once they were forced to kind of sell their worship space because they didn't have enough donations to keep it up. But that lounge had beer on tap, so you know, occasionally the parishioners would
just wander over.
Yeah, they would go and grab
back.
Yeah, they would go grab a beer and then come back and say a few prayers. So yeah, it was why is my speaker betraying me today?
I don't know, but it's really enjoying the music.
I know, it's got some terrible See, I'm gonna get some copyright claim on that stupid music that started playing on that website. Anyway.
Ta-da!
Anyway, yeah, so they had church at this lounge that served beer, and apparently the parishioners kind of liked it. You know, it
I mean, I do tend to get very spiritual when I get a couple deep.
Well, that's right. You know, beer is the classic social lubricant.
That is true.
And, you know, I figure, you know, especially if you're a little more unorthodox church, you know, you're doing a little more talking, conversing, personal prayer. You know, beer might help facilitate that. So, you know, I think that's a decent idea. And, yeah, I think it would be kind of nice to have a beer while you're sitting there enjoying and contemplating to yourself, you know?
Like my mother's about to disavow me from marrying you, but I agree. I don't know. I would like a post-religious service beer.
Oh, okay.
Like if instead of coffee and donuts, we got beer and cheese curds, all about that.
Oh, there you go.
I don't know about mixing it might just be that there's no real place in Catholicism for the beer to happen.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Even the wine bits at the end.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Like there's not really a tie, but you know, beer and cheese curds instead of coffee and donuts.
Right.
And I would definitely stay after mass.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. The coffee and donuts I could take to my car.
Mm-hmm.
The beer and cheese curds, like I have to sit and congregate.
Right.
And honestly, that would be a really great sense of community. And for so many weird reasons, I feel like there's this disconnect between like I'm going to make friends in church and hang out with church people, and I'm going to make my beer friends.
Right.
Like, why can those not? Why is there such a gulf?
Yeah, I think a lot of people can kind of bridge that gap in their communities. But
right.
You're right. It is a difficult one for sure.
Because I'm like, here's the thing I'm really interested in, that like even when we're bonding with people in a religious setting, it's kind of like
yeah.
Why?
Okay. Do you need another beer?
Yes.
All right, why don't you go grab it, and I'm going to explain to the chat what cheese curds are, because apparently they don't quite understand all this, or some people do, but you know.
Did I just create a cultural quandary?
Well,
for the universe?
Drunken One asked, beer and cheese curds. It's like,
oh, that No.
Yeah,
That's
so-
fish and chips.
Yeah, that's a classic food combination. Man, cheese curds are just probably one of the best cheese products you can get. I'm from Wisconsin, America's dairy land, and then of course, here in Minnesota we got some here too. A lot of dairy farms here too. But cheese curds are the way to go. They are like the snacks of champions, and it's really, really tasty, and they go so good with beer, fried or unfried. Joe for the Beer Patrol says yes, cheese curds are the best way to make actually good poutine. Yeah, I need to get some. I've had some poutine around here, but I guess I need to go to the land to the north here and actually get some real poutine going. Burning Beard says the local hippie store carries cheese curds. If by local hippie store here in the Midwest you mean every grocery store and gas station around here, then yeah, everybody carries cheese curds. They are very, very popular here. It's kind of crazy to see how that's kind of a regional thing. Yeah, Joe, yes, I have had deep fried cheese curds, a superior snack food.
Did you explain
I did.
both types of
I
cheese
did.
curds?
Burning Beard says in Oregon, their local hippie store is the only one that carries a good one, or maybe at any market. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I was like, any gas station around here has cheese curds. Like, they're everywhere, and they're so delicious. They go with so good. They go with beer so well. Sorry.
They go so good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's right. They do go so good. But
why is my computer freaking out?
Your computer hates you now. Did you pour beer on it?
I didn't know such thing.
I don't believe it. You were hiding Heffa-hype on me.
I was, yeah. And my last batch of homebrew was a Hefeweizen that came out super good. Oh, look at that smoke! you got a little too excited. You're gonna run out of space.
Yep.
You're gonna have to take that somewhere else.
Oh, baby.
Here, you can hold that up for the people to see what's going on here. Yeah, so it looks like the yeast got a little excited in this one. Yeah,
baby.
That is quite the. Oh, but it smells so good. All right, it's starting to calm down. You might be able to make that work.
Either way, I was
Wow.
taking over the hard surface.
Wow, that beer got super excited. Yeah, so I opened one the other day where I had a buddy over the other night who I broke out my last 12 pack of these Hefeweizens, and he was like. He remembered having that earlier in the year. He's like, "Oh my god, I need one right now." So he pops his open. It sounded like a firecracker going off. I was so surprised that the thing didn't blow up in the pantry. I've never had a blowout.
Knock on wood. Knock on wood.
Thank goodness I have never had a blowout. But the one he opened was seriously like boom, and he was like, "Oh shit!"
Oh no!
Yeah. Like, that thing was, like, ready to come out. See, look, the beer is excited to see you, Brenda.
Apparently.
That's what's going on here. It's ready to go.
I now have a quarter cup of beer.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Jada Dila, how you doing tonight? Cheers. All right, so you're drinking the Heffa homebrew there. That beer turned out really, really good.
Look at that guy.
Speaking of homebrew, I'll have to get a tweet or a message or maybe a little video out, but... I'm gonna have a homebrew day coming up here soon. I'm doing an Anchor Steam Beer clone brew day, so that's gonna be.
I like it.
Yeah, that's gonna be kind of fun. Gonna be something good for the fall, I think, and then we'll get into the malty stuff this winter. So, yeah, I'll keep everyone posted because I'll have to do that live stream because it's kind of just boring to brew by myself. Might as well hang out with all the good people. Maybe we can get Drunken One to brew with us too. That'd be kind of fun.
And if anybody has any dark beer suggestions for the winter, that's my homework, is to pick a dark beer we'd like to brew later. So hit me up. I take suggestions. Why is your computer broken?
I don't know. It is freaking out today.
Well, the computer and your cat are apparently on the same page.
I see that. Well, we're still live, so
okay,
so
wait,
far so
hang
good.
on.
What's
Burning beard? No.
up?
You said pumpkin stout.
Pumpkin stout.
No.
No, you're not gonna do that.
No. No pumpkin in beer.
Mm-hmm.
No.
I like really, really well done pumpkin beers, and I am not confident I can do one really, really well.
There is so much scuzz in this beer.
Yeah, based on the amount of enthusiasm it had, I would
Yeah.
imagine it's pretty yeasty in there.
Woo!
Ooh, what's going on?
That's all caramel.
Oh yeah?
I don't know why that's caramely.
Did we lose all the hot flavor with
Uh-huh.
the age? It's not super fresh, so like
That's just delicious. That's not even beer.
this one. What happened to this
I don't
one?
know.
This is not a Heffa.
But I want to like pour it over ice cream.
Yeah, maybe somebody who knows more about brewing can tell me if you have an especially like yeast enthusiastic
And
beer.
I don't know if you can tell exactly.
Okay,
how
so I poured one
cloudy
out the
that
other day,
is.
and it was much cleaner than that. So, yeah, I don't know what happened to that beer. It got really excited. I think.
This literally tastes like caramel sauce.
Right. JD Diva asked me what I'm planning for autumn, a Märzen or a Heffa. I already did a Heffa this past year. A Märzen is a lager, which I don't have the setup to accomplish. I wish I did, because I love lagers.
Real house.
Yeah, I know.
Real house goals.
Yeah. Let's see here. Joe asked, have you ever brewed a nice big like winter warmer beer, like a big heavy stout, or maybe like a Belgian quad?
After that murder horror nonsense snuck up on me at New Year's.
Oh yeah, we had like a
No!
what was that, like a triple golden ale?
I don't know.
I think it was like 8 or 9%, and it tasted like it was like 4, and it just
It said murder on the bottle, and it wasn't kidding.
Mhm. Right.
That was a murderous beer.
Yeah, exactly.
That thing had a vendetta.
Yeah, maybe we need to do
Vendetta.
something a little warmer this year, a little heavier for us. I do have a nice holiday beer cellaring. I don't know if we're gonna break it out this year or next year.
Oh, that's right. I
Yeah.
always forget you did that.
Yeah, the great Yule beer from our favorite Belgian brewery, Boom Island, out of Minneapolis, Minnesota. So yeah. Jada Diva says really loved the Märzen video I did. Yeah, it's like my number 2 favorite beer style or something like that. We did our
Good
top
work.
5 beer styles a while ago, and that was definitely on the list. I love Oktoberfest beers. We might be doing.
Say it again. I don't think they heard you.
I got it. You know what we're doing next Monday?
What?
It's Labor Day. We're gonna do Märzen Monday. We're gonna do like 6 Oktoberfests. We're gonna line them up, Brenda. We're gonna taste test all of them. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
I hope you all know I have to deal with this for the entire day Monday,
Mm-hmm.
leading up to the stream.
Oh, we'll probably do it in the afternoon. It's a holiday. Let's
So
do
when
it.
I lead to about Märzen 6 and just slug him.
Yeah.
Because he hasn't shut up
Yeah,
for
we're-
5 Märzens.
Yeah, we're gonna do Märzen Monday. It's gonna be awesome. Yeah.
Now I need a beer.
Oh, well, good news.
Good news, I have
You
beer.
got one right there. Yeah.
Ugh.
See, look, everybody's really excited about Märzen Monday now. They just want to watch you mostly, but you know, I'm around. See, look, I gotta try to get my review language up. I don't do any beer reviews mostly, so yeah.
You all asked for this.
That's right. All right. Well, I guess I can give you another beer story. Let me see.
You mean we're not just going to talk about cheese curds?
No, we could
No.
talk more about cheese curds if you want.
I was like, because I will gladly tell you all about cheese curds.
Okay, so this I think is really cool. As stadiums kind of evolve to really bring home the local beer scene, bring it into like the professional sports stadiums, they're also getting really creative about how they are delivering and selling beer to the fans at the game. So one of the coolest things I've seen lately,
Hang
you know,
on. I gotta interrupt your beer news.
sure.
What if
All right.
we made something like the salted cream, cold foam, cold brew in a beer.
Oh, from Starbucks?
Yeah. So you'd have to have like a lighter coffee beer, right?
Or you tell me you want to do like a black and tan, but like
Yeah, but like with a little salt profile? Like, can you salt beer? No, because salting beer would retard the yeast. Because that's how bread works.
Right.
Could you get something that tastes salty
What
into
if you,
beer?
What if you did a black and tan with like a coffee stout and a goza?
Wait, so how are gozas salty? What makes gozas salt flavored?
I'm not actually sure off the top of my head. I don't know.
Because they
I'll have to
can't
go look it up.
actually have salt, right? Because
Maybe
yeast...
you can put it in after fermentation's done.
Oh.
Like
hang on.
after the beer's fermented, you don't need the yeast anymore.
Oh now, hang on. Okay, so we get like.
Yeah, Joe says they add sea salt from the Northern Sea, right?
That,
from the.
Yes.
Yeah.
I forgot that once fermentation's over, the yeast don't care what you put in anymore.
Yep.
Duh. Hence why you add fruit to kombucha after the... Yes. Anyway. So you take like a lighter coffee beer profile. Probably ale-ish, not stout-ish.
Sure.
And you get a little salt.
Yep.
How do you make things... Because you almost need that like milky backbone thing. I don't think we can do this.
Okay, so what you do...
I've now gotten far too complicated for us.
Hold on.
Okay, I'm ready.
You make like... You can put a little oatmeal in there, get that creamier mouthfeel going. You'd have to do it like an Irish stout, and then either add some sea salt or add like some salted caramel, something like that, you know? Yeah. Oh, look, the chat said the same thing. Salted caramel. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I don't really want the caramel.
Okay.
I only want the salt and the cream.
You just want some kind of, just a little salted oatmeal stout, something like that.
How do they
coffee?
make... Okay, I know this, and I'm feeling really dumb. But how do they make milkshake beers like creamy?
They add lactose.
Can we do that?
I mean, I probably could figure out
can
how.
We just
I'm sure
take
somebody knows how to do it.
Coffee ale.
Yep.
Plus salt plus lactose.
Oh yeah, Burning Beard. They make lactose sugars. Yeah.
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 That's all I need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joe says lactose and a ton of oats. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, see, we workshop this
is
right
going
here.
To go so bad. This is going to end terribly.
No. We're gonna. You know what? We're gonna do it great. So this winter, be ready. Get hyped for the crazy salted coffee stout. Yeah.
And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, go to Starbucks. Get the salted cream, cold foam, cold brew. I don't know what half those words are. I mean, I understand them all individually, but I don't know what they have to do with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Just drink it, because it's amazing. But,
okay, all right. Joe, Beer Patrol said you got to message me your address, and then we can send him a bottle, especially if it's terrible, like he says.
It's probably going to be so bad.
Right.
Because literally, we've never made up our own beer.
Yeah, no. We'll figure something out.
We're kid people.
We'll figure something out. Yeah, it'll work.
Maybe.
You might end up with a masterpiece that we end up putting in a competition or something. You never know.
If this winds up not sucking,
yeah, you never know.
I'm starting a brewery.
Oh, you're starting a brewery. Yeah. Yeah.
I had one beer that didn't suck.
Yeah, that's right. I got the one beer. I'm ready to go.
Sorry, I got just distracted enough in the middle of your story that I got creative.
No. That's cool. So
this year we should probably buy a coffee grinder so I'm not smashing whole coffee beans between two pans.
Right.
To crush our coffee. But beyond that,
all right.
I hear you had a story, something about pro sports and beer.
Well, yeah, like I said, a lot of pro sports teams are embracing craft beer culture, and then they're just, they're getting more creative with beer delivery in general at the stadium. So I think a while ago we were talking about
the QR code.
Yeah,
on
the
seat.
I can't remember quite which ballpark that was at, but they had they put QR codes on all the seats. You would scan that and it would take you to a custom page where you would order a beer and then they would bring it right to you, so you didn't have to get up from your seat to go stand in the line or do anything like that. So this year for the NFL season, the Baltimore Ravens are employing basically beer rickshaws to ride around the concourse of the stadium to go to where the lines are especially long, or where a lot of the fans are at who want beer, so that they can meet the demand right there. And the best part about this is
wait. Are they rickshaws that have beer?
Yes.
Or are they rickshaws that bring you to beer?
No. They're rickshaws that have beer. So they're like mobile beer stands in the stadium. And the best part about it is they fit 3 half kegs on the back. So you can get tap beer from the mobile beer stand.
But why do we still pub crawl?
Well, if you pay a lot of money to go to that NFL game, you're gonna want to get a couple beers. And what I really like.
What have we been doing wrong all of our lives?
Well, what I really think is really cool about this one is that
you guys,
they go to the problem areas of the stadium. Like, so
I am in crisis.
So
please beer me.
If the staff sees along beer lines, the beer rickshaw is going to pull up and be like, of course it's overpriced beer. So it'll be like $10 for a beer, but still, like you're standing there in line, suddenly the rickshaw pulls up to the back of the line, and then the line is cut in half.
Yes.
And you're suddenly there,
That's like if I'm standing in line at the ladies, which, I'm sorry, the proportions are such that I should not have to stand in line. There's like 5 of us.
Yeah.
If I'm standing in line in the ladies' room and somebody just plops a porta potty behind me, I will pay you good money.
Right.
Do not have to stand in the bathroom line.
Right. Yeah.
Done.
Right.
I am the cheapest person you know.
Yeah, I thought that. And the coolest part about it is they do have half kegs, which I think is so cool that you can get the draft beer on the mobile platform, which I think is awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, so I really like how creative ballparks are getting when it comes to serving beer. I think it's so cool. It's so much fun. And I think what it really does is, since they're competing so hard to get people actually into the stadium and into the seats, because the TVs are so good now, and you can do it at home, that getting really creative with how they serve all their food and how they really cater to you. I think that's really the future of making sure people actually attend the sporting events. Yeah. Okay. What's up?
So, how I was trying to convince you that we should have a fleet of rickshaws to take people from our wedding venue across the bridge to the hotels.
Yeah, do they need to come with beer coolers on the back?
I've made a demand.
Yeah.
Please tell me we can have beer rickshaws.
Yeah, it sounds kind of good. Sounds kind of good to me.
Can they drink? Can we drink and they bike? Does that work?
Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
Because that's all I really want.
Yeah. I think the chat is impressed, but skeptical, because it's still $10 to however many dollars for a beer, but
Okay, but no, you know what? I've gotten a little biased because I only ever go to Saints games
or college football games, which are you're still sub $10, even for a craft beer. It's like $9 or $10, which is 8, 9, 10.
It's in a can.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tall boy, but yeah, you get the tall, which is not outrageous,
That by the third quarter.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I'm also paying $12 for cheese curds, but that's
fair
fine.
enough. Drunken One says you're not supposed to put a keg on a golf cart.
You're definitely supposed to put a keg on a golf. That's why the back is so big.
You heard it here. That's right.
I don't golf.
Brenda doesn't have any clubs, so she just puts
the whole back bit.
She just puts that little third keg right in where the golf club should go. Yeah.
That's what that space is there for, right?
Right.
And then you can take the seat belts and you just
Right. So,
I see no reason why this isn't a thing.
Right. Yeah. So another cool article I found was actually from a pretty small town.
God.
Yeah, it's pretty cloudy there.
It's just not settling.
Well, no, it's not going to settle.
Nope.
The yeast are too excited, Brenda.
Nope.
Yeah. Yeah, they got busy in that beer. Anyway, I think breweries are starting to realize that they're really becoming tourist destinations. Cause
You mean the fact that half of them open as tourist destinations?
yeah, that's true.
See Brewdog?
Because in kind of small town Akron, Ohio, they have one brewery kind of on Main Street.
What is it with Ohio and destination breweries?
Called Sandy Springs Brewing, and they're in one of those old Main Street buildings that kind of has the retail level down below, and then
Right.
like a living unit up top.
Okay.
Because your merchant class used to live above their store.
Yes,
that's how that
I
used.
do understand
Yep,
social
that's
dynamics.
that's well,
Okay.
if you're not a small town person,
yeah.
that's how it works.
Eh,
But so they took the room above their brewery that they had on kind of the main street of Akron, and they added 2 Airbnb rooms for overnight stays at the brewery.
oh, that's brilliant.
Because they realized, okay, we're a little off the beaten path. We have a lot of out of towners coming in here because we make really good beer.
Right.
So we're gonna just take that old apartment that's normally above your storefront
Well,
and turn it into a little Airbnb.
And who wants to live above the brewery?
Right.
Like no one.
Right. With music and things like that. But if
Yeah.
you're coming in from out of town for the brewery, you might want to stay at the brewery, and that's a cool little story too.
Like which poor bastard gets the room above the bar?
Yeah.
Broke college student.
Right. Yep.
Or you could charge twice as much
Mhm.
and get like random hipsters for a night.
Right. Especially if you're a small town brewery too, because you don't quite get as much
call
traffic.
Akron small town.
I know, but it's
not a major metropolitan destination. Sorry,
Right.
Akron.
Yeah, exactly. So, I thought that was just a really clever way to like make yourself a bit more of a destination. You're already getting people in from out of town. You really, there's probably not a ton of lodging options in the area, and I think a lot of people would love to stay at a brewery.
Yeah,
I think it's a great story. I would do it.
As long as you don't have to live there.
I would do it for sure.
Yeah. I mean, we keep saying we're going to, and then we just never.
Yeah, that Brewdog Hotel is open in Columbus, right?
Beer.
Yeah, Columbus, Ohio. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That'd be
all I want is shower beer that stays cold. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I want.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Yeah.
They have that for me.
So yeah, I think it's a really cool idea, and I wouldn't be surprised if more places kind of start becoming these brewery / beer tourism destination. They really embrace that beer tourism aspect.
I mean, we have discussed the fact that that's all we do anymore is travel and beer. And hike.
Yeah. Usually when we go somewhere, we hike around
to beer,
then drink at breweries, and then go to sleep. Yeah.
We travel to beer, and then we hike to more beer, and then we beer.
Yeah.
This is how we travel now. We like 3 things.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. The chat seems to think so too. Hey, Rod J, what's up? Cheers, man. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think a lot of people would love to stay at a cool
me
brewery
included.
venue. Yeah. Absolutely. So last couple articles, I know I talk a lot about the international craft beer scene. This week we're looking at kind of taking a turn towards Africa, where we were talking about Guinness earlier. Sorry.
Remind me, I have a beer news for you.
Oh, really?
Okay,
oh, dear.
Carry on.
All right. We were talking about Guinness earlier, and their parent company, what is it? Diageo. I'm not really ever sure how to say that company name, but their parent company is really starting to target the sub-Saharan African beer markets.
Okay.
So they're going hard into there because basically world estimates kind of come out that 40% of the growth in beer over the next 2 decades is going to come from Africa.
I was going to say, isn't all of the growth from everywhere going to come from Africa?
Well, for the most part,
because that's how urbanization works.
Yeah, that's right. So we're seeing, last week, a couple weeks ago, we were talking about India really burgeoning,
yeah,
Singapore really burgeoning, And then if we look forward a little bit more, we kind of peer into the crystal ball a little bit. Next thing you see is Africa. You see really big markets opening up there for beer.
Yeah.
So, obviously the big conglomerates are already taking advantage, but it's going to be weird to see who the first craft competitor is going to be to take a fly on an African nation,
You mean
because
major craft?
yeah, well, like
You don't mean like local craft.
no. I mean
Okay.
like Stone Brewing just opened up in Singapore. Like
Right.
Who's going to be that first craft brand that's really going to take a step to the African continent? I think that's going to be really cool to see who's going to go out on a limb and try to make that market work.
I'm gonna say it's gonna be Guinness.
You're gonna, well, yeah, Guinness is the big like mega brewery that's gonna start there. But yeah.
Oh, are they? Okay, I was
Yeah.
like, where are we counting them?
No, Guinness is a
Okay.
mega brewery.
I wasn't really sure.
Kind of. They're definitely corporate beer, man. Actually, that leads me great into the last article,
Yeah?
which was this opinion piece on VinePair, which is actually a pretty good website.
What is a vine pair?
I think they started with kind of like wine news and reviews, and then they moved into craft beer once craft beer really blew up.
Hey, get out of here.
Yeah. But
Our place.
they had this great article, kind of opinion piece on how that craft beer was really built on this us versus them mentality. It's us over here, we're local, we're quality focused, versus the big mega brewers who are all just about making a buck, and they'll sell you piss water and whatever.
We do get a little persnickety.
But the opinion piece was all about how this narrative is kind of starting to break down.
Well, we don't know who's us and who's them anymore.
Well, yeah, that's exactly. See, look, you've got the author's point right here already. Like, who is corporate beer now? Is corporate beer somebody who sells out 25% to AB InBev?
Right.
Is corporate beer somebody who sells out to a private equity firm? So they only own one brewery, but it happens to be, the one craft brand. But it's a private equity firm, so clearly they're trying to make money.
Yeah, it's like,
off
heck
of
if
it.
I know who's craft anymore.
Yeah, so like, that's the author's whole point is like, we used to have craft beer used to thrive off this very us versus them mentality. They're like,
Right.
Come drink us. We're quality, we're local, we're the people you can trust.
Well, and I think it's only served to make craft beer more localivore?
Right. But I think now it's actually kind of going the other way, where it's becoming a little bit, it's making the industry, for those who are already in, they're more local than ever, right?
Right.
For those who aren't in yet, it's actually becoming a little less accessible, the beer scene. It's too many choices, too many options, and to be honest, there aren't a ton of options that are similar to what they're already used to.
Right.
I think that's something too. Like a local brewery here in Minneapolis, St. Paul, Fair State. How are they attracting new customers to craft beer?
Probably not.
Yeah, they make so many hardcore sours that they aren't evangelizing for craft beer.
I mean,
they're going to a market that already exists for craft beer.
They also have solid, approachable light beers and IPAs, but they're known for their sours.
Right.
And even their IPAs are very, I don't want to say aggressive, but it's not a Miller-like profile. Like, you're not going to make that jump from one to the other.
Right. Yeah.
It's just not going to happen. And I mean, we've definitely both taken our fathers. We've both taken our fathers to breweries and had to play the what's most like a Miller Lite game.
Yep. I've had to play that game for sure. Mm-hmm.
And it's hard, and it's only getting harder.
Yeah.
So while it's like, I love all of these wonderful, crazy, fruity sours and hardcore stouts and imperial barrel-aged everythings.
Yep.
I can't give that to my dad.
Right.
Like, I just sat down for my birthday, and we stopped at Total Wine, and we said, okay, I have to buy Brenda beer, and I have to buy Dad beer.
Right. Yep.
So yeah, it's that thing of there's a whole generation and college students that could be reached by this, except there's not really that entry. We've gotten away from entry level beer.
Yeah.
In a lot of places.
Yeah. Yep.
And I know we were just talking about, what do you like, specialization or across the board decent?
Yeah, that's what we talked about
and
last
I voted
week.
for specialization. But I understand where specialization is alienating.
Yeah.
Unless you're specializing in really approachable lagers.
Yeah.
Which not many people do in this world.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, I get it.
Yeah. And it's just the waters are so muddy now that we can't have this us versus them dynamic anymore. It now really has come down to like who's making good beer. Like that's really what I'm concerned about now.
Well, and I guess there's that point to that where, maybe if you had somebody who didn't necessarily want, I want this crazy style, but you're like, well, did you know that this beer is locally produced and this and this and this, and here's all its great ties to your community and whatever, and now it's like, I've heard I would like this Ballast Point thing.
Right.
And somebody goes, did you know that Ballast Point isn't really craft?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, you got the whole beer shaming dynamic too.
No!
Which I think I'm gonna do a video on that soon.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes,
I'm gonna do something on beer shaming because I do think it's a bit of a problem. Because when you there's this whole community of people who talk about how we need more diversity in the craft beer community, and I think that people like going after low price beers as like low quality and you shouldn't drink that really hampers diversity. Because like, look, what are the target demographics that people are looking for diversity? They're looking for minorities who tend to be a little bit poorer. And if you're beer shaming cheap beers, how are you supposed to get people to enter?
Not even that. If you are from a community that does not typically exist in the craft beer sphere, why are you going to pick a $12 glass beer?
Right. Yep. Exactly.
Why would that be your choice?
Yeah. Too right.
That's my choice.
Yep.
I know that beer.
Yeah.
I know it's going to be good. And just because I just saw Rajay's pop up and he has beer shaming or beer education.
Oh, there's a fine line there.
I am all for beer education.
No, I think he makes a good point though. There is a fine line between education and shaming, and unfortunately, people could kind of sometimes be drunk assholes, or maybe. But seriously, like maybe
it's true.
Maybe you're a little buzzed.
It's occasionally me.
Maybe you're a little buzzed and you cross over a line when you didn't intend to. It's like something like that. But like, yeah, I think he's got a good point that like beer education and beer shaming can. There is a fine line between the two. I like to hope I walk that line kind of nicely, although, I do have a video next week that might toe that line a little tight. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I always come from the point of I will order whatever I want.
Right.
And if I know you well enough to pick on your beer selection, I will probably give you a little crap for ordering hams. I don't know. Pick a not insane beer. But I will also hand you my beer in a hot second and be like, hey, do you like mangoes?
Yeah.
Do you like coffee? How do you feel about caramel? Try this, try this, try this, try this.
Can I say something about the beer community on YouTube too? Because I think this is really important because, I'm addicted to beer content, especially on YouTube, but Twitter, podcasts too. I like it all. I think that the beer community on YouTube is pretty welcoming, and they don't do a lot of the shaming. Whereas Twitter.
Well,
great beer.
Twitter's made for shame.
I understand. I understand Twitter is a cesspool.
That's what it's there for.
At least in my personal opinion, it's kind of a cesspool. Twitter, but like even the podcast community too tends to be pretty dancing that line on the shaming side, I think. And I think what I really like about the beer YouTubing community, I know I'm talking to a bunch of beer tubers right now, but like I think what I really like about it is that on YouTube, I think people are a lot more friendly and a lot less towards that shaming side. Where I think a lot more of the beer snobs and those folks, they tend to gravitate towards Twitter. They tend to gravitate towards, some of the beer podcasts I've listened to are very aggressive in their we hate anybody who drinks Bud Light kind of attitude. And I frankly don't get it. Like, I don't get it. Yeah. But I think the beer community on YouTube is especially welcoming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, that's right.
Confirmed.
Yeah. Okay. So you said you had a piece of beer news for me?
I had a very small piece of beer news. And
Okay.
it's less of a piece of beer news and more